I hate to give Cowboys credit when it's due, but that Cowboys defense showed up yet again. It was Zach Wilson, I know, so let's not go overreact, but they showed up. They looked fierce. Coming off that 40-point shutout, drubbing the Giants, look ready to go. Good.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast, being on Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Podbeam, and wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today, cavalcade of stars, and I think we can win a couple of ball games with these guys. First of all, Captain for Life, Will Cotton. Will, how are you doing today, sir?
Great Sunday, loving it. Had a great week of football. Let's get into it.
All right. At 1/3 of the coveted trio, Run TMG, my man, G. Sumner. G, how are you, sir? And no Saints talks today.
Oh, man, happy to be here. Celebrating another 49ers win. We are 2-0. Let's do it.
All right. So on today's show, we're going to do the best, the worst, and most surprising in segment 1. Segment 2, I'm going to ask my guys some questions about some things that are currently going on in the league. And in segment 3, we'll talk about things strictly for entertainment purposes only. But first, G, let's start with you. What was the best thing you saw today? What was the best thing you saw?
A la Stephen A. Smith, I hate to give Cowboys credit when it's due, but that Cowboys defense showed up yet again. It was Zach Wilson, I know, so let's not go overreact, but they showed up. They looked fierce. Coming off that 40-point shutout, drubbing the Giants, look ready to go. Good day for them.
They gave up one too many points. Okay, Will, what was the best thing you saw today?
Got to be a little bit of the homer, man. The Commanders went into Denver and they got the win. The first thing you got to do is you got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. They did that last week. Now you need to get the 50-50 wins, and those are teams that they beat against Denver. So you got that. So they're trending the right way. Great win by Washington.
All right. And the best thing I saw today, fellas, Kansas City covered the spread. They're still looking like trash. They are still not humming on all cylinders, but we got the cover. And as Gorilla Monsoon would say, we went to the pay window. All right, G, what's the worst thing you saw today?
I'm going to stick with that same game, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had a pretty tough divisional matchup with Kansas City last year. Coming back, they got some excitement, a little bit more talent on the roster, added Calvin Ridley, and laid a complete dud today offensively.
All right. Will, what was the worst thing you saw today?
I'm gonna stick with the big cats, man. The Lions. They had a chance to go 2-0. Seattle was missing both their tackles, and they just could not get to the quarterback. And they beat him in overtime. They actually put up 37 points. In my world, that's 40. That's bad luck, especially at home, especially when you unveil the Barry Sanders statue. You do that man can't break. He just can't catch a break in Detroit.
Still losing games.
Still losing in Detroit. Don't matter if you're in or not playing. That's the worst to me.
All right. So the worst thing I saw wasn't today. I'm going back to Thursday. Minnesota's Alexander Madison had to deal with racial messages following Thursday's game. What are we doing? It is 2023. My man Will tell you there is no delete button in cyberspace. We'll be able to find all of these people. And why are we doing any of this? So that was the worst thing I saw, was just the fact that this guy is a husband, he's a father. All right, didn't play well, whatever. But what are we doing? All right, G, what's the most surprising thing you saw today?
Comeback Sunday. I saw a lot of teams jump out early. Commanders went down big. The Giants went down big. Both came back to close out wins in the fourth quarter.
Yes, they did, man. I'm shocked about the Giants, but that wasn't mine. Will, what was your most surprising thing today?
I got two. One, Falcons came back. Falcons' comeback was pretty good and exciting. They dropped 13 points in the fourth quarter. Packers had 0, and that was great for them. And I'm pretty surprised about the Chargers. You know, they paid Herbert all that money, and they're 0-2, And it's not that he's playing bad. They're just not getting better. If
They
you want
don't know. They can't win a close game.
I don't think they know what they want to be. I mean, Eckler missed the game, but I don't think they know what their identity is. I mean, they're not 100% Herbert to just run it like an Allen or a Mahomes, but when you don't know what you are, you ain't going to catch those wins that you need to.
And if my point guard, Sean, was here, he'd say they're still on that hangover from last year. I can hear him now. So, most surprising thing I saw today is the fact that Tampa Bay is 2-0, and I'm still telling Todd Bowles to rent, don't own, man. I'm sure management is surprised too. Okay, Baker is balling like he's going after the Heisman. Okay, so yeah, I am just wow. Baker is doing the thing. Tampa Bay's 2-0. We're in a bizarro upside down world. So fans, when we get back, got a lot of questions for the panel. Hopefully they can help guide me through. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches podcast.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read." Former George Mason standout Fowler Campbell said, "Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey." Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches podcast in segment 2. Man, I'm going to get the fellas to help me out with some stuff. Will, I'm going to start with you. Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Nobody wants anybody to get hurt. Tough injury, Achilles. Hey, Bengals, please take care of your quarterback. But in that, he talked about the turf, not he. It was talked about the turf, the team, and moving forward. Give me your thoughts on how you would advise the Jets moving forward this year after the Aaron Rodgers injury.
I think they have to be real to themselves. One, they have to say, look, everyone's going to have to step it up. Everyone's going to have to raise their levels and go up a little better because the quarterback is not good. I think some of the names that they were even calling when he was hurt and after Aaron Rodgers got hurt, they were calling, Kaepernick. I'm like, Kaepernick ain't played since pre-pandemic. So why are you calling him? No disrespect. They're calling everybody Cam Newton. I mean, they were calling Matt Ryan. I mean, the writing is on the wall. So Zach Wilson just needs to understand, like, look, if we had a better option, we would go with it. So just don't be Rex Grossman in 2005. Try and just ride this defense, make a play here and there and just don't mess up big. We know you're going to mess up, but just 3 interceptions, that's messing up big.
He had 3 interceptions today?
Yeah, 3, at least turnovers, at least. I have to make sure that they were interceptions, but it was ugly. It was ugly. They're not going to win. They have to figure out something. If they're in the whole win now, they're not going to win with that kid. They have to figure out something, and it'll be sooner than later. You're going to have to trade a piece or Dalvin Cook. I mean, they can let him go and get a backup, but something has to happen.
I got a solution for you.
Go ahead, G.
Go trade a 3rd or 4th round pick. And if in 3 weeks Minnesota drops a couple games, go trade Kirk Cousins, whose season is correct.
Not you too, G. Not you too.
Not Kirk Cousins.
Contract is up after this year. You got a Super Bowl roster. Not to say Kirk Cousins is a world beater, but you put him with Garrett Wilson and those running backs and that defense, and you can at least contend again because it ain't going to happen with Zach Wilson.
I will call Matt Ryan before I call him. I'll call
Oh,
me even
You,
Tom Brady.
did
I'll
you
call
did
Matt
you
Ryan
watch
before him.
did you watch Indianapolis football last year?
They were.
Matt
Did you?
Ryan,
Their
Matt Ryan,
offensive line, bro. Their team is. I watched them play live.
Matt
They've been
Ryan,
terrible the last couple of years.
Matt
Anyway.
Ryan ceased to be relevant the minute the Patriots completed that comeback in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but if you're going to believe, if
oh
you,
yes,
but if you're going
yes.
to believe, if you're going to believe the guys that you're talking about, Zach, if you're like Zach Wilson is my baseline. Anything you and me would have been better if they go there.
All right. So here's my take. Moving forward, the Jets keep Zach because you got him under contract, and the call I would make, gentlemen, would be to Carson Wentz. That would be the call I'd make. And the
Yeah,
Oh,
reason why I would make that call is because, as you see across the league, quarterback, I'm going to say it, Will, is overvalued and overrated because everybody who got paid, they're owing whatever. Okay, except Lamar. He's 2-0. But Chargers are terrible. Joe is barely standing up in Cincinnati. So that's kind of how I would look at it.
one more
Uh,
though.
Go right
Remember,
ahead.
Rodgers is going under some new tech that's supposed to fix his Achilles. That's going to have him playing by January. So keep an eye on that because it's that Bama's doing voodoo. They ain't doing nothing. They're doing that
Applesauce,
peyote.
alfalfa,
Yeah.
applesauce. All right. So, G, I'm going with you for this. Dealing with criticism. So I'm going to G first because I physically seen Will deal with this. And G, I will always say until the day they put me under, your team was the closest group of student athletes I have ever seen then, now, and forever, to quote the WWE. So I want to go to you first. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts had a public spat on the sidelines. And Jalen Hurts talked about being a competitor, being part of the team, part of the makeup of the team, et cetera, et cetera. But it looked a little bit more salty than that. You also have Stephon Diggs getting criticized by reporters on hot mics, live mics, and things like that. So, taking either one that you want, how are you looking at that as a player in the locker room with either Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown going at it, or a member of the media insulting one of your teammates? The floor is yours, sir.
I don't look at. I don't have too much on the Stephon Diggs situation. Reporter got caught probably speaking his truth. I have no doubt that Stephon Diggs, not that I know the guy, but he may not be the nicest guy in the building. So he's probably speaking his truth and just got caught. In terms of the Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown situation, I think it's much ado about nothing. Competitors gets a little fiery on the sidelines, more so in football than any other sport, and more so between quarterbacks and receivers. Receivers are divas. He got paid to come be the number one guy, and even though he's part of a great unit, he wants to get his targets like any receiver does. And so you're going to have that kind of stuff on a team with expectations and wants to win. And so as long as they're able to do it and come together after the game and there's no effect to the locker room, not a big problem. And I thought it was a little too much was made of it, but the nature.
So, Will, you've been a part of a fiery locker room debate or two in your day. Are you in agreement with G, or do you have a different take?
I agree with G, man. With Diggs, the locker room, they love the guy. I haven't heard anybody in Buffalo wearing a helmet has said, I hate Stephon Diggs. It's unfortunate that a reporter feels that way. I'm sure they had a relationship together that was, but we all have friends. It's like, man, I can't stand so-and-so. And then you're like, really? So-and-so, that's my man. It's like 100%, 100%. It's just how close you are with somebody. Both were probably true. It's not crazy to say. With AJ Brown, another like G, man, just like I say, competitor. He was upset he wasn't get the ball, but let's not remember there was a penalty that brought back a touchdown that he had. There was a holding, and then he dropped the ball in the end zone. I believe it was he dropped it. So he had some chances, man. But I love it that they're getting it out now. You know what I'm saying? AJ's like, look, man, let's go. And Hurts is like, let's go. And he went to him. He went to him twice, and unfortunately, it wasn't a touchdown. But it's a much ado for nothing, in my opinion.
All right. And I'm going to be with you fellas on this. I'll take A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts first. Man, you got to let guys go. And when it gets to a certain point, then you get involved. But most of the time, as coaches, we get way too involved in stuff that at the end of the day, win the game. Winning is usually the elixir to most problems. In terms of the reporter, um, her name was Maddie Gibbs, and she was picked up on a hot mic and said some derogatory things. I am often reminded as a coach that the media is not your friend. Everybody's got a job to do. There's some you will talk to more than others, but at the end of the day, you have to be mindful of each and everything you say, and you never know when a mic's on or off. So treat everything like a press release, and that would be the advice I give the reporter, because you got to go back to work tomorrow. Wait, you might not be able to go back to work tomorrow. So, yeah, let's be extremely mindful of that. Finally, fellas, and Will, I'm going to stay with you, my favorite capitalist. The NFL is a global game. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium has been granted status as the home of the NFL in the UK in an expanded partnership. So the NFL will be in the UK. I know Jacksonville tends to have a game there every year, and other teams have to go. The NFL is also moving to Spain. They're going to have a game in Spain, and rumor has it that they're looking to have a 4-team international division and expand the league to 36 teams over the next 10 years or so. Some of the chit chats going around with that. Will, are you good with the 9 a.m. London game rolling all the way through the 8 o'clock NBC Eastern Time game? Tell me your thoughts, sir.
Luckily I'm a father, so I'm up at 7:30 every day at least on weekends. So I'll probably will be watching. But if it's on ESPN Plus or I gotta pay extra money, I don't think I'll be catching that. It's just funny, didn't we do this with the NFL Europe maybe 20 years ago or something like that?
And don't forget We Laugh, World League of American Football.
Yeah. I mean, why not just have an NFL Europe League and have them just play each other? 2 teams in Germany, 2 teams in Italy.
Barcelona Dragon.
Yeah, just going back and the winner and then the Super Bowl of the NFL Europe plays the American Super Bowl championship.
World
and they have a war, and then you can really be the world champs. Because that seems to be the issue everybody having. Like, you can't be the world champ and ain't beat nobody and only in America.
In Hungary.
There you go. Man,
you're the champ of America.
Expand,
G, save me before Will takes me off to a place I'm not trying to go. What do you think about the global expansion of the NFL?
I think that the world is a soccer. It's a soccer world. And we can bring our game because all things American are entertaining to the world. And so there will always be, and with the number of people we have abroad, there will always be an audience in these buildings to go enjoy a game here and there. This sport is not going global. It's not basketball. They've got rugby. They've got soccer. They're not playing football. They don't understand it. And so I just don't see it, not in my lifetime at least.
Okay. Well, I will say I have been in Las Vegas, Nevada, when they have had the 9 a.m. Europe football game. So we got to bet from the time we woke up until dinner time. And then we went out to dinner and saw a show afterwards. What a day. As Jim Valvano would say, that's a heck of a day.
But it starts at 6 a.m. if you're in LA. So if you're a Rams fan, you're waking up at 6 a.m.
Yeah, and I was still on East Coast time.
And normally to watch the Jags and Colts or something like that.
Yeah, no, I ain't doing that.
All right, fans. So when we get back, speaking of betting, we'll talk about things strictly for entertainment purposes only. Not my best week, but not my worst week. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
The CKA SAVE Project is an industry leader in advocating for student-athlete, academic, and athletic needs. Through academic and athletic enrichment, the CKA SAVE project is on the forefront of the issues facing 21st century student athletes. As student athletes continue to struggle to find a better balance between academic and athletic success, the CKA SAVE project offers academic and athletic services to support student athlete academic success, including academic skills assessment, academic and athletic consulting, academic monitoring, academic and athletic workshops. For more information or to schedule a free consultation, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. And segment 3. Well, my top 5 is better this week because I paid attention. So here we go. Top 5. I got Dallas as 1. Got Philadelphia as 2. I got the Ravens as 3, San Francisco 4, and Kansas City at 5. On the outside looking in is Miami. And remember, fans, we don't do the Sunday night game or the Monday game. It don't matter anyway this week. There's some weak contests. So, G, what do you think about my top 5? Dallas, Philly, Ravens, San Francisco 4, Kansas City 5.
You know, I'd probably go about the same. I wouldn't have Kansas City right in there quite yet. I think they'll be there down the stretch, but I'd go Dallas 1, San Francisco 2, Philly 3, the Ravens 4, and then insert team here for number 5. We don't have a number 5.
You gotta have an AFC team, so I had to get one. Will, what do you have for 5 this week, sir?
I'm gonna have to go. I still think San Fran's number 1. I still think that's the best team to beat. I think Philadelphia is right behind them. I think Dallas is right behind them. I think the Ravens are then 4, just like G said. And then 5, why not, man? Well, the Falcons, man. Why not? Why not?
It's week 2, sure.
It's week 2.
No one's fighting you about any of this.
Well,
it's 2-0. I mean, it's all good.
All right, season-long bets. I don't think I'm going to have a very good season with these. So we got the Steelers over 8.5. The Jags are at 10. Jets are 9.5. I'm taking the over on all of these. The Chargers are over 9.5. The Bama's is 0-2. Green Bay, you had them. You had them in your clutches, and you let it go. Carolina over 7.5. The Commanders 2-0. Love that. And Seattle finally got their win. So let's get to my bets. Last week I was 3-2. This week I was 2-3. And overall I'm 5-5. I had for the spread game of the week, Kansas City -3.5. Took that to the pay window. I had Dallas under 38.5, and they scored 40 in terms of the game. Come on, defense. Let's get a stop. Hey, my 2-play, Baltimore under 46.5. Nope. And Houston under 39.5. When did that become an SEC game? I don't know. That just happened. My 3-play money line of the week took care of business. Buffalo, San Francisco, Dallas. Took all of that. And then my upset, instead of picking Washington, I picked Chicago, and an Ohio State quarterback let me down. Will, did you do anything strictly for entertainment purposes only this week that you'd like to talk about?
Nothing. I mean, I knew Kelsey was playing again, so I played Kelsey anytime touchdown, and just like every does, 1 o'clock gonna hit, it's gonna hit. It hit it. And I was kind of surprised Calvin Ridley didn't hit his anytime touchdown. And really Josh Gibbs, or I forgot his Gibbs from
Jameer.
Jameer Gibbs,
Jameer Gibbs from
Detroit.
Detroit. Yep. Just can't get his footing, can't get into the end zone, man. I know Montgomery is right now just taking control because he's more consistent. He's getting the touches. So that's been kind of frustrating for me. But everything else was pretty standard. I missed a couple ones, but the ones that I needed to hit, and it was a decent one. But always go with Kelsey anytime touchdown. Can't lose it. It's always
All right. I will let you do that, sir, because that's too much thinking for me. G, did you do anything strictly for entertainment purposes only this week, sir?
I had 2 parlays. Hit them both.
Both.
Money line parlay, San Francisco, Buffalo, Dallas, and the Giants. I was shaking like a stripper.
Oh, yeah.
We got it done. Sorry, kids. And then I had
gotta bleep that.
Yeah, had Ravens money line to go with Josh Allen and Herbert both over 1.5 touchdowns. So hit
All
both of
right.
those, and yeah, we cashing out tonight.
All right. And again, fans, it is strictly for entertainment purposes only. My wife laughs every time I talk about we won. And even Merv said, you don't bet enough, coach. So, all right. Week 3 games of note Thursday, Giants, 49ers, G, on a Thursday. All right. And then Sunday, games that I'm going to try to peek at Atlanta versus Detroit, because Detroit very well could go 1-2, and then there goes all that fun stuff. New Orleans against Green Bay, because for some reason we're all locked into New Orleans. Thank you, Merv. The Chargers against Minnesota, 2 bank robbers going head up against each other. Buffalo versus Washington. Diggs is coming to town. So I'm sure he will have more tickets to give away than he wants to. And Chicago versus KC for all the wrong reasons, because that's going to be one of my money line picks. So, Will, what are you looking forward to next week, sir?
Looking at the schedule, it is ugly, but it is nothing that I would really want to miss a date for. But I will say this is the third leg that the Commanders have to complete. They beat the team that you're supposed to beat. You get the 50-50 win. Now they're supposed to beat a team that you're not supposed to win.
You have no chance at winning that one. So let's see. And you're home. And you're home.
We'll see. We'll see. The defense is great. They're pressuring. They got the pressure on Josh Allen. If they can prove, and they keep getting confidence. That's the biggest thing. If they know that they could go out there, that's half the battle. If you're going to lose, you already lost. But it'll be this is the third leg that they have to hit as they proceed through progress through the season, and we'll see how things happen. But let's go.
All right, G, what are you looking forward to next week?
Honestly, I can't wait for Thursday to watch the Niners roll over the Giants, but I'm looking forward to Vikings and Chargers.
Yes.
2 0-2 teams that came in with some expectations, and you drop this one, and we're going to start hearing Kirk Cousins to the Jets rumors, and that Chargers coach's seat is just going to start heating up a bit.
All right. So I'm looking forward to Atlanta, Detroit. I think Atlanta is one of the worst sports towns in the country. I can't lie. Every year people hear that. And Will knows I like Detroit because they like their coach and they try to play for him. So that is the game I am looking forward to. I don't know if I'll do anything strictly for entertainment purposes only with that one, but I actually want to just see how that one goes. So to wrap up, we got merch to close the show. Buy yourself a CKA or an Odd Coaches Podcast t-shirt. Go to CKA Save Project. .itemorder.com. Kelly will put that on the screen, and I'm going to try to time it so it goes right where my hands are. We get money for these things, and a portion of the proceeds go to provide and find a balance books for underserved high school student athletes. So please make sure you promote and purchase the t-shirts. We do need your support. Also, motivational Monday videos. We're starting to have those out there, getting a lot of great feedback. So please make sure you subscribe so you do not miss them. So on behalf of our Cavalcade of Stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches Podcast. And we'll see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches Podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches Podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches Podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.